Hey y'all, so I'm going to show you my outdoor plant tour. So I've had people say, well, you've got a lot of plants on your inside of your house, what you got going on the outside. So I'm going to just kind of do a quick little video to show you kind of what I like to have out there. These here are golden lantanas, and these are kind of like native to Florida. And they just grow really well in hot sun. They're very hardy. I chop them back at the end of the season, and then they just grow right back at the beginning of the next season. So along with the lantana, there's a Mexican heather in here. There's some azaleas, the one-time blooming variety. I have a few pentas in here with that little red flower there, and those are very hardy plants as well. They have a really pretty flower that attracts hummingbirds, bumblebees, as well as butterflies. There's some Ixoras back there. I have 4 of those. They get about 4 to 5 feet tall, and they also produce a very pretty flower. So this is a very low maintenance garden. Here is my red sister, or my tea plant. It's a tropical plant and it comes back every single year. I do need to do some pruning on it. It's got some dead leaves, but other than that, it's a very pretty plant. It's very striking. I do have a couple of pots on each side of my stairs, and in the pots there's some Impatience, a Dusty Miller, some Salvia, I think I'm saying that correctly, and this pot. And I realized that the Salvia will grow bigger, and I'll probably have to reconstruct this pot at some point during the summer, but for right now I wanted it to look full, and I got all of these plants when they're very, very small, so they've grown quite a bit since I've got them, and I expect them to grow some more. Now this is a geranium, and it's going to put out a lot of pretty flowers. I do need to do some deadheading on those, and I have them on both sides of my porch. And then there's another pot just like the one you just saw before, Dusty Millers, Impatience, some Salvia, I keep wanting to say Salvias in there, and I'm just kind of looking through there. These tend to get they kind of get big, so you want to just make sure they don't get there's not too much moisture in the pots. And then there's some more geraniums. So here is some bougainvillea. Excuse me, I'm sure I'm not saying that correctly, but it's the really pretty flowering plant. It looks like tissue paper, and I'll show you. This was about a week and a half ago when I filmed this initially, and I'm going to show you what it looks like today. I went out there just to make, I wanted to show you what that plant looks like right now. So it really is blooming fast. So I'm hoping that it's going to trellis over that, like a little pergola thing, I'm not sure what that is, to make a really pretty statement piece for my backyard, but we shall see. If it looks really good, I'll do an update video. Hopefully it doesn't die, but it seems to be pretty hardy, and it's really flowering nicely. So here is a birds of paradise plant. I have 2 of them. I have some steps in my backyard, and they just kind of line that the steps. I'm hoping that this will grow to be really, really big, because I've seen some really big, pretty birds of paradise, and I think they'll be really pretty in the backyard. And then there's some awesome Salvias in there as well. This is my elephant ear garden. I have some tea plants back there as well. Those grow so big, you guys. We have to really trim those down quite a bit during the year. I got some after the season peace lilies, Easter lilies, and I like them because of the foliage. It's really pretty and green, so I'm gonna put those in some pots and just see how they do. They were like $3. Okay, and over by the fence I have a Sago Palm, and it just grows really, really well in that spot. I don't do anything to it at all. I don't even water it. As you guys can probably tell, I love a good container garden. So here's another one. This is a lantana, a different variety from the golden one. Some Impatience and some Dusty Millers. Eventually the Impatience and Dusty Millers will come out of there, and the lantana will just take over the entire pot. This is a Canna plant. I think it does put out a really pretty red lily-like flower twice a year, and there's 2 in that pot, so it's gonna look really, really pretty. Here is a galvanized pot that's just full of marigolds. There's some Impatience in there. Kind of like, this is like my backup pot. It sits in my yard. It's like it's a focal point, but I can pull from this and plant, because marigolds stay blooming all through the summer. So if I need to replace any flowers to kind of keep them really nice and neat, I'll pull it from those pots. Now, what yard wouldn't be complete without a herb garden or salsa garden? So I have my herbs here. I have basil, chives, green onions. Over here I have some cucumber, which I have never grown before, and I have some sweet peppers or bell peppers. There's some strawberries that I'm trying to grow from seeds, so we'll see what happens with those. But anyway, there's some sage in here, thyme, there's Greek oregano, Italian oregano. Now the oregano, those winter over. I don't have to replant those at all. The green onions are the same way. The basils are the only ones that I have to replant every year. Here is how this bell pepper is doing. So I have the red, green, and yellow variety. And then this is my aroma tomato plant, and that's a jalapeno pepper plant, and there's some onions in the ground. Now here I'm trying to grow some potatoes. I think I started them too late in the season, but I'm just gonna see what happens. My son wanted to grow some, so we will see if they actually, you know, mature into anything. And those are some gladiolus, and I hope they grow because I want to put them along a fence in the back. And then I want to show you I do have rosemary. I had to get a brand new start with my rosemary this year. My last year rosemary died. And this was some rocket arugula, so let's see if it grows. I planted it from seeds and it's looking pretty good. Okay, and so part of like my herb garden, this is a bay leaf tree. I got this one many years back. It's a very small little, I don't know, it was a very small plant, maybe 36 inches. And I put it in a pot just because I didn't know how it was gonna winter over, but it's been doing very, very well. This here is an orange tree. It has never, well, I shouldn't say that. It had one fruit once and we didn't even eat it. So this is an orange tree. Hopefully at some point it will produce oranges for us. And then over here in the corner, I'm going to make this like a hydrangea area. It's very shaded right here and I love hydrangeas. So this is kind of new. These were cut back over the season, so they're just now growing back. Okay, this is like my little citrus tree area. This little lemon tree has been through a lot, hurricane storms, you name it, and it's still trying to produce little lemons for me, and I'm super excited. I realize there's a lot of lemon trees compacted in one area, but I want to see if I can get some good fruit yield this year before I dig everything up and have to start all over again. So I'm really happy with this right now. Now this right here is a lemon or orange tree, I'm not sure. Me and my daughter about 3 summers ago, we did this from a seed. So I'm really impressed. It hasn't bared any fruit yet, but it's really big. It's big and it's healthy, and I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. Anyway, this is my outdoor plant tour. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section down below. If you have any suggestions, I like those too. And I will see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.